Welcome to What We Created. I'm your host, Jada Kelly. Per usual, prepare for the laughs, the tears, and a whole lot of WTFs. If this is your first time tuning in and you're thinking, damn, another pod, damn, another pod. But I do hope this one is different from the ones you may or may not be used to tuning into, and it just offers a different perspective. I was debating on if I even wanted to do a pod, upload a pod like this, because this is normally the way I would speak to like my family or people that I love, like the friends that I have in my life. This is like that. I don't even want to necessarily call it tough love. I feel like I have like a coach's mentality. And so when I'm speaking to people, it's like, yeah, I want to give everybody the chance to have that safe space, and I want you to come and I want you to cry. But then like after all of that, or like during that, let's start getting to some solutions, or let's start getting to some, how are we going to make this work? And after I get through today's message, you guys will understand what I mean by how are we going to make this work. So after last week's video, some of the comments kind of just really reiterated to me the type of world that we are in today, and how people are, we're not really getting through things as a community, I don't know, people really aren't growing through things. It's kind of like we're becoming stuck, like we're just like these rocks of people. And to be fair, I forgot what episode it was it Practical Purpose? I'm not sure. I did talk about how this is really good. I feel like every time I get to go to talk about something, God is like, you were at that place too. And I know I told you guys that I feel like, have I ever said that on here? I'm not sure. I feel like in my life, I have experienced almost every emotion. Like almost every emotion that you can think of, I have experienced. And I remember I said a lot of the times I didn't really understand why, but I know even just sitting here right now, I realized God was like, I'm going to use that. You needed that. After seeing some of the comments I got, it just makes me sad where we're headed. I understand why we're headed in that direction, but I feel like we have went too far. As a community, we have went too far, and I feel like it's make a turn now, or like we're going to be stuck here for a minute. And the way things are going, I don't want people to get stuck. And people are becoming stuck. And being stuck for a season is fine, but being stuck for a lifetime is not. That's when changes have to occur. We gonna cry, we gonna laugh, but like we're also gonna be 100% real on this podcast, because, and if you're coming into this community, like I said, I'm all for the tears. I want you to have a safe space, but like in safe spaces, accountability has to be had too. Like, I know for a lot of people, accountability feels like an attack, or accountability feels like somebody is dismissing your feelings, but it's like, we're still human. We still have lives to live. Avoiding life is not an option. Not here. If you want to do that over there, that's fine. But this community that I'm building, I definitely want accountability to be a very large thing. And I know a lot of people don't have it, and I think it's because you've never seen it exemplified before. I'm going to try to sandwich this as much as I can. I think sometimes I get in the habit of doing so much and I forget to like add in the love to my message. So just to start off, I want everybody who is tuning in, and for this, I'm going to be speaking to the women a lot more than I am speaking to the men, but like this message is for everybody. So I know there are so many things you haven't heard from your parents that you always needed to hear, and there's so many things you haven't heard from people in your life that you've always needed to hear. So just to start off, I want to let you know, if there's things that you haven't heard from people that you wanted to hear, you're going to have to reparent yourself. You're going to have to speak to yourself like someone that you love. And if you do not speak well to the people that you love, speak to yourself the way that you will want somebody to honestly speak to you. Just because you don't speak to yourself well does not mean you don't want somebody else to speak to you well. Speak to yourself with love. Speak to other people with love, but you're going to have to reparent yourself. Speak to yourself the way you wanted your mother or your father to speak to you. Or if it wasn't your mother or your father, if it was your grandparent, if it was your uncle, if it was your aunt, speak to yourself the way you wanted them to speak to you. Just know, for one, if you are a part of this community, first of all, you are loved. Everybody who's tuning in, I just truly, truly want y'all to know that you are loved. You are accepted here. I am proud of you. Some of the comments I seen, I'm like, I understand how much work you put in to get where you always wanted to be, and I see you, and I am proud of you. I'm grateful that you are tuning in, and I'm grateful that you guys are sharing your stories. Know that you guys are beautiful. Know that you are loved, as I already said. Know that you are accepted, as I already said. Know that I am proud of you, as I already said. We see you. We recognize you. I hope you guys keep tuning in, and yeah, but for the purposes of today, like, the meat of the sandwich is what I'm going to need to stick. So I know I talk a lot about support and community, but today I'm speaking directly to you, the individual. I'm all for having people behind you. I'm all for having people see you. I'm all for just you building your own community. But what I'm not for is you not recognizing yourself. What I'm not for is you not seeing yourself. What I'm not for is you not realizing that you come before all of this. Before all of this, you need to see yourself. You need to love yourself. These are not optional things. And if you don't love yourself, you're going to have to reparent yourself. You're going to have to sit with yourself. A lot of you, like a lot of people cannot even look in the mirror. You will not even look at the mirror, like stare eye to eye in the mirror and look at your reflection. That means something has to change. Something has to be done. Like, we live in a world in a world now where you can go and look up resources for how can I learn self-love? How can I learn to sit with myself? How can I learn to deal with myself? I'm all for excuses, but I am not for death sentences. We don't do that here. I don't mind excuses for a season, but after that, something has to change. And even in me saying that, the first question I have to ask you, especially because of some of the comments that I seen, do you really want what you say you want? That's something I want everybody to really and truly ask themselves. Do you honestly want what you are saying that you want? Because I think it's so dangerous for people to push out this narrative where other young kids can see it and other people in the community can see it as well. And people are pushing these narratives so hard. It's like sometimes it can make other people believe that they are also incapable. And it's like, you don't even want what you say you do. And so you're pushing this narrative and people are following this narrative and they start to believe, and because like they're looking at you and they're like, she can't do it. And I have a similar life path to hers that I can't do it either. And it's like, that's not true. You don't even want what you say you want. So how would you push this narrative publicly? You don't want that. Just really get clear. Like, do you truly, in the bottom of your heart, do you want what you are saying that you do? Disorders, diagnoses, anxiety, fear, all these things are real, but they are not death sentences. And I'm not even speaking for, no, actually, I'm going to leave it there. I fear, or not even fear, I am nervous about what's coming for our communities and especially for our young children. Well, you can go online and you can self-diagnose yourself. Like, that's all fun and games until we have 10-year-old children self-diagnosing and sticking with this for the rest of their lives and becoming like a shell of a person. Whatever happened to you in your life, whatever happened to you growing up, none of that is your fault. Like I said, I 100% believe in excuses, but I do not believe in death sentences. Like at a certain point, it's like we're going to have to deal with it. You cannot throw your hands up and take yourself out of the equation. Like that is not an option. Like you still have a life to live. And when I'm saying there are 10-year-old children thinking that there is no more life for them to live, baby, there's so much for you to experience. There's so much joy for you to experience. There's so much love for you to experience. And I was watching a video and I was thinking for young kids who are in homes that are truly, truly destroying them, baby, please just push through. For all my young, very young, hell, 16, 17, even people in those age ranges, if you are living in a circumstance that you do not want to be living in and you know it's not healthy for you, baby, just make it. Just make it. Just make it through. That's the one thing I ask. And once you do, you are going to have to face your reality and a lot of those emotions that you had to bury to push through your adolescent years, you're going to need to face. Y'all, I'm nervous. I'm really, really nervous. Just the way it said in my spirit when I was looking at some of the messages and some of the comments, I was like, oh my gosh. Like, kids, y'all, are really out here labeling themselves and saying, I can't do it. I'm scared. I'm fearful. Baby, be all that and do it anyway. Like, I'm all for people having their season of feeling like they can't do it or feeling like they're not good enough. But baby, after that season, you're going to have to get up. Talk to yourself like someone you love. You got to be your biggest cheerleader, your biggest supporter. And I'm all for in the times where you can't be to have that support system. But baby, you got to see yourself. And even you being uncomfortable, like that's not a stop sign. People get uncomfortable. That's a part of life. I'm not even gonna say, like people say life isn't meant to be easy. I don't even really like those words. I feel like I'm not even gonna stick with that. I'm just saying life comes with difficulties. Like, do we know that? Do we know it's not just supposed to be sunshine and rainbows? And if it was sunshine and rainbows, nobody like we would be robots. That's what I mean. Like life has its mountains and valleys, but it's like I think because we went from not accepting other people's emotions to accepting people's emotions so far to the point where we don't see nothing else and all we say is, oh, this or that person is this and they can never come out of it. Baby, you can come out of anything. Take a break, but we don't give up over here. We do not give it up. And I see a lot of people giving up, a lot of people quitting. Baby, that's not an option. You still have a life to live. Is it episode 11? Yeah, I think it's episode 11. The one right before this. About people going out and dealing with other people and speaking to other people because essentially we need people. So like invite people into your life. There was so many comments of people saying they're scared. There's so many comments of people saying they're fearful. There are so many comments of people saying that they have social anxiety. And it's like, baby, that's okay, but you still have a life to live. I'm all for people choosing not to be around other people and they feel, what word do I want to use? Them not being around other people isn't a defense tactic and it's not a solution to their fears. It's simply something that they just want to do. Now, the people I'm speaking to are the people who it's a fear, it makes them uncomfortable, and it is a defense tactic. Baby, social anxiety is not a death sentence. And I'm only saying this, is this going to get me canceled? I feel like a lot of my videos are getting very serious, but it's like, is this a serious one? I don't really know, but it's just like, I hope this don't get me canceled. Because some things I feel like we need to speak on. And I've seen a lot of people saying they were shy also. That so them being shy meant that they couldn't form relationships with other people. So then I'm like, okay, like I understand. So somebody commented and it was talking about how they had social anxiety. And I forgot what I said that made me say this next. But I was saying that like, ooh, is this going to get me canceled? I feel like a lot of things you can't talk about nowadays. But social anxiety has a lot to do with self-acceptance. Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. Don't kill me, y'all. But like, Oh my gosh, and the anxiety that you feel when you're around other people, that has to do with you. Like, and I was saying, like, sure, something probably did happen in your life that made you reluctant to form relationships with other people, and that probably plays a message over in your head that maybe that you feel like you're not good enough, or you feel like something's wrong with you, and that very well could have been the words that somebody else said. But like, baby, that means you internalized it. That means now you feel that way about yourself. So at this point, especially for all my grown adults out there, at this point, what are we going to do about it? Are we just gonna sit and act like nothing's happening? Are we just gonna sit and decide that this is a death sentence? Like I said, baby, we don't do that here. We do not do that here. So I was telling her, I was like, this is truly a self acceptance thing. So, like, you might have to sit with yourself and figure out what about yourself are you not truly accepting. And I was telling her, like, self acceptance and self love truly is freedom. I 100% believe in social anxiety. I think that is a very real thing. But it's also very real that it's. Are y'all gonna cancel me? I feel like y'all might cancel me because I feel like it's really not what people want to hear. But even, oh, I wish I had his name. He does like it's not therapy. It's something, because a lot of this stuff is honestly spiritual, and I don't even know how deep I want to get into spirituality, because a lot of people don't understand it and a lot of people don't believe in it. But it's like, we deal with spirits, so what do you mean? But some of y'all got spirits on y'all. How do I want to say this? How many minutes are we? So we're 20 minutes in. Um. So yeah, there's this guy. He gets into people's minds and help them realize why they feel the way they do about themselves. And it was people who, like, they didn't want to be in front of people, couldn't really express themselves. They couldn't even scream in a room. And he gets them to really sit down with themselves and figure out what is it that they need from themselves, and what is it that is blocking this part of them. And that's what I need people to do. And I think maybe a couple of episodes from now, I'm going to give everybody questions to ask themselves to really figure out what it is that they need, because something in the water, y'all. Like I said, I'm scared for the 10-year-old kids, 10 years old, and feel like you don't have any life left to live. And that scares me. That truly scares me. Like, we are such powerful beings, and I feel like people are operating out of powerlessness. You are not made to not be powerful. As humans, we are way more powerful than we think, but we're getting into this thing where we're letting our emotions run our lives, and it's like, baby, you gotta stand up. Stand up and choose to fight. Like, I feel like a lot of people, if you were getting jumped, or if you were in a fight and the other person was winning, you would just lay on the ground and let them kill you. Baby, stand up. Stand up. Swing back. And that's what I mean about, like, this emotional stuff. Like, baby, your emotions cannot run your life. Get up. Fight back. Like, and even when I was talking about myself, I was talking about how I was a rock of a person. I was a shell of a person. I was stuck in an emotional rut, but baby, that was for a season. You best believe I'm on, and it wasn't like is it overbearing? It wasn't like a ridiculous amount, but I'm researching, like, and I'm watching videos, and I'm getting in tune with spirituality, trying to figure out what is it that I need to do. How do I accept myself? How do I love myself? Baby, we don't take no fight sitting down. What you mean? And I think a lot of people are also fighting against spirits. And if you don't believe in spirits, I'm sorry, but like, I do. So that's really all I can speak on. But like, a lot of y'all are fighting against spirits, and baby, you losing, and you making it easy. Cause you laying down. Baby, stand up. When a thought comes across your head, you redirect that thought. When thoughts come across your head that tell you that you are not good enough, baby, I need you to sit with yourself. I need you to hug yourself. I need you to I need you to give yourself love energy wise and vocally and in your head or however you need to get it out. Baby, you say I love myself. You say I'm good enough. I was made to be powerful. And men too. I feel like I don't even think y'all understand. And I'm not a man, so this is not me trying to speak for a man. I can only speak on because I've had so many male friendships, and just talking with them, you just realize a lot of men are, I don't want to say broken. Ooh, that sounds so sad. A lot of men are, they're not okay emotionally. And I feel like life doesn't necessarily give a lot of men the chance to love on themselves. But to this whole community of people that I'm building, I just pray that you learn how to love on yourself. Please, I feel like we're letting other people take us out. We're letting spirits take us out. We're letting our emotions take us out. It's like, baby, stand up. Stand up. Come on. I'm getting nervous, y'all. I'm getting nervous. And it's people just saying, like, no, everybody in life sucks, baby. Everybody in life does not suck. And it's so funny because I think after I matured a little bit and really like got in tune with myself and the type of person that I wanted to be, I was always so confused because just having conversations, I'm just like, I don't think I ever said it was hard. I was like, if I am out there in this world, I know there are other people like me, so I won't stop until I find them. This always been my thought process, and people just say like, oh, but like it's rare that you're gonna meet somebody like yourself, or it's rare that you're gonna find people who don't do that. Like for one, and I'll just speak because I've seen a lot of comments about the type of people or whatever. I don't really do gossip, and I prefer not to be around women who gossip. And I understand that that might be not the easiest to find, but baby, I'm not just gonna stop dealing with people just because it's not easy for me to find it. We gonna rummage through people. You know how y'all be rummaging through people when you're dating, baby. Keep going through those friendships. And I know like growing up, people used to like make fun of people who had like a new friend group or new friendships every year. What are we holding on to? Baby, you gotta let them go when they're not in line with you. Let them go, and I promise you, you're gonna start running into people who you actually want to be aligned with and you want to be connected to. People like you exist. Good-hearted people exist. If you exist, you gotta know other good people. Good-hearted people exist, and of course, just as many good people, there's just as many bad people. Baby, if you go slow enough, you will recognize them. And I think so many people are going too goddamn fast. Slow down. Oh my God, slow down. Even in relationships, slow down. What the hell? What are you running towards? Slow down. Baby, I promise if you go slow enough and if you keep asking the Most High, the universe, whatever you believe in, if you just keep asking, show me what I need to see. Show me what this person's intentions are. Show me what they're here for. Show me if this is somebody I need in my life. I promise you, the answers will always come to you. You won't even have to go look for them. They just gonna start popping up in your lap. And I speak from my own life as an example. Friendships, relationships, anything. Anytime I prayed and I've been like, and I've been like, the Most High, please just show me. Just show me. It falls right in my lap. And sometimes I find myself getting frustrated because I'm like, I truly didn't want to see that. I could have gone my whole life without seeing that. And the Most High is just like, baby, you needed it. I promise you, you'll save yourself a lot of time. And maybe it just depends on what you want out of life as well. I'm just saying, if you go slow enough and you ask for the signs to be revealed to you, baby, they will. Don't turn a blind eye. I see so many people just turning the blind eye and then 6 months later they're distraught. Baby, come on. Now you betrayed yourself. And especially for my women out there, when you betray yourself, baby, your body knows. Your body knows. And it's stuck in you. And now you got to spend the next 6 months trying to get it out of you. It's going to come out of you. But like we could have just avoided that altogether if you just would have went slow enough. And for friendships too, if you just go slow enough, everything will be revealed to you. If you don't want to deal with people who talk behind your back, if you don't want to deal with backstabbers, if you don't want to deal with people who are not givers, if you go slow enough, this will all be shown to you. You don't have to spend 5 years in the friendships, come out of it and be like, this person never gave me a thing. You would have known that up front. And for my givers out there, if you are a giver, I'm not even going to say give less, but for one, give without expecting anything in return. So for me, it was always a thing of sometimes I would give so much to people and I'd be like, I just don't understand why this one thing that I asked them they wouldn't do. And so for me, my philosophy now is like, I will give until I start expecting something in return. And that's when I know I need to cut it off, because a me thing, I think now I'm not giving for the right reason. So I need to stop. And that has helped me significantly. When I realize I've gotten to the point where I'm going to expect something back, I stop, because naturally I am a giver. And so it's like, I'm not going to stop giving. I'll just realize this is not what I want to deal with. And on the other hand, you can just realize up front that this person is not a giver and just not deal with them entirely. I know that sounds crazy. For some reason, people like to hold on to people with a tightrope. Baby, let them go. Go find your chosen family. But I'm just nervous. I think for the next episode, I want to have somebody on here who has social anxiety and who manages it well, to really I just want them to give y'all some helpful tips, because I could go and Google it, but I prefer to have somebody on here who really can have some assistance. But it's like, I'm nervous. I'm really nervous for the direction that we're headed in as a community, as a society. That's what I've been trying to say. I'm nervous for the direction that we're headed in as a society. Um, I think I get, and even just working with kids and even just getting online and seeing people saying like, oh, this is hard, so I can't do it. And it's like, it can be hard, but you can still do it. I think we're kind of moving into a thing of everybody wants everything to be easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And it's like, bro, this is life. This is life. Do we all understand that this is actually life? Like, you actually have to get up and like fight back. I think a lot of this stuff is real, but I think a large majority of people are taking this shit laying down. And it's like, baby, stand up and fight back. And I don't want this to get to come across in a way where it's like I'm not being accepting of people's real deal issues and real deal problems. It's like, no, I had problems too. I recognize this shit too, but I'm not taking this shit laying down. Laying down? Stand up. I'm nervous. I'm so nervous. And it scares me that, so y'all also, I am 100% for therapy. Well, I'm 90% for therapy, but a big reason, I'll just say it like this. A big reason why I also chose not to do psychology, y'all gotta think, should I say this? Well, shit. So, if where we live runs off of money, and that specific particular, not psychology, they give people with like okay, I'm not talking about psychology. You know that those things that they give people who have who they diagnose, those things that you can swallow, that that's like $1 billion industry. We all on the same page with that. Okay. So a big reason why I didn't want to do that is because once money is involved, people will start doing anything to keep that rolling. I believe in a lot of the things that people are diagnosed with, but at the same time, you got to think about half of those other people who really didn't necessarily need that. Okay? So even when I was saying like social anxiety is like truly is like a self-acceptance thing. You can be nervous, you can be shy, yada yada yada, but then when you're standing in a room full of people and all you can think about is what's wrong with yourself, you have either internalized what somebody has told you, or you don't look at yourself as worthy enough. Baby, that's when self-love comes into play. This is what I don't even know if I want to upload this, because I don't want to offend anybody in that way. But I think people are going online, looking at who they are, identifying with somebody else, and just saying, I have social anxiety and we're stopping. I have social anxiety, period. Baby, it's I have social anxiety, comma, I can learn to love myself, comma, I can do difficult things, comma, I can still learn how to talk to people, comma. And this is me going back to saying you have to figure out if what you're really saying you want is what you want. Because when I was talking about dealing with people, we need people in our lives. It was like people were saying they're shy, and I'm like, you can utilize social media to like talk to people, right? I'm just trying to understand what's tea for real, y'all. I'm really trying because I'm nervous. I'm nervous for where we're headed. I I don't know, y'all. I don't know. This video's supposed to be funny. I might have to re-record this. This is a little too serious. My video's been a little too serious lately. These podcasts been a little too serious lately. I don't like it. Damn, that's crazy. Because when I first started this podcast too, I was like, I don't want it to be serious all the time. My personality not serious all the time, but when I be talking about stuff, it be coming across real serious. But yeah, baby, I just hope everybody learn to reparent themselves for real. And for all my men out there, I pray you learn to reparent yourself too. I feel like we don't really give men that option. We don't give men useful tools to help themselves emotionally. Just because if you are a man out there, and I'm speaking because I have a little brother, so I kind of got that firsthand experience of the emotions of like a young male, and it's like even if you turn your emotions off and you learn to bury them, they do not go away. And I'm kind of frustrated a little bit because I'm seeing what people are putting out there, and it's like, baby, that's not even true. I was watching this video, and this man, he was saying just because you went through something as a child and you're older now and you're talking about these emotions again, he was essentially saying that doesn't make the emotions real. It's just how you felt as a child. That's not true. That is not why are we telling people this? And what's crazy is that when you're talking about, and I believe in crying, and I think sometimes there could be a way that you felt as a child that maybe you don't necessarily identify with now. But I promise you, if you really sit down and start talking to people, baby, those emotions are alive and well. And that's what I mean when I did episode, I forgot the one, You Should Heal, They Should Show Us My Sister, when I was saying that little girl in you or that little boy in you is still there. Do you actually have to take steps to heal that? Yes. I mean, you can keep it buried forever, but it's not gonna go away. They're gonna be I don't even know how I want to say this. I do think people should be intentional about their healing. Burying emotions, everybody don't want to heal. That's fine. If that's not what you want to do, that's fine. But for my people who actually do want to heal, you gonna have to start addressing that little girl, that little boy in you. And especially for the men out there, for one, I just want to say I see y'all and I love y'all. I love men. Y'all scare me a little bit, but like I love y'all. Y'all be doing some wild stuff, especially for like my guy friends. I'm just kind of like, why are you doing that? But like, everybody has their own experiences, go crazy. I just truly hope all the men out there truly learn to love themselves too. I think a lot of men even suffer from low self-esteem, and they suffer from like their own insecurities, and they have, y'all, sorry, I know when I speak to women I speak to the camera, but when I'm speaking to men I'm acting like y'all not here. I'm sorry. But if you're tuned into the Apple or Spotify, I'm sorry, y'all probably like, what are you talking about? I also record on YouTube. But I think y'all don't necessarily get the space to like welcome in your emotions. And for that, for one, I just want to apologize that you didn't get to have that experience. But even for like the girls, the women out there, not everybody had that space to navigate through their emotions. So I just pray that everybody truly takes the time to navigate through their emotions, men and women alike. I think so much damage and so much hurt is being done in society because, for one, people haven't healed, or for one, people won't truly address like the pain that's circulating through them. And then when you really sit down and you talk to people, you realize just how much pain they hold inside of them. Like, And even when I did that episode with my sister, and I'm saying a large majority of people did not get to have the parents that they felt like they needed. And so you're going to have to reparent yourself. We don't take no fights laying down. We get up and we deal with it. So like let's all deal with it. And if you have questions, feel free to shoot me a message. I don't have all the answers. I can sit and I can do research with you if that's what you would like. I just want everybody to heal for real. And that's why, like, when I said you should heal, but it's horrendous, it does not feel good. And to be fair, you already don't feel good. So if you already don't feel good, okay, so what are we going to do about it now? Let's come up with some solutions. Let's come up with some plans. You can take it as slow or as fast as you want to. But no, you have a friend in me. I prefer you not to trauma dump. I can't handle that. And that's why I'm so glad I have this podcast and I have this community. People keep saying I should be a therapist, but therapy is very different from even being a life coach as well. Like therapy, there's certain things I can't necessarily handle, and that's why I chose not to do therapy. I want to have a family of my own. I prefer not to bring that stuff into my space, like emotionally into my space. And so I could look up resources for you if you have any questions, if you want to know how do you even sign up for therapy, how do you get involved in therapy, or if you don't prefer therapy, what videos do I need to watch to like encourage myself, what videos do I need to watch to like get into with myself, what questions do I need to ask myself. If that's something that you're interested in, I can assist you guys with that. If you have any specific questions you would like to ask me, I'm always available to answer those questions. Well, not always available, but y'all know what I mean. You can send them whatever you would like. But yeah, I pray healing over our communities, especially for the men, y'all. That's also why I'm excited to have more men on here, because I think sometimes, and I get why the society that we live in, men try to portray themselves as like these rock of a creature. And it's just like, I'm like, okay, literally almost every single man, relationships and friendships alike, I'm just like, come on now. I see it on you. And like I said, I can see people easily. I ain't even gonna get into that. I see people fairly easily, and I feel like I can almost read people like a book. It's kind of scary. It sucks sometimes, but it's like men's emotions run deep. They channel them through one avenue. Y'all know what's weird? I've been saying stuff like this since I was like in middle school. That's scary. Maybe it's because I'm observant though. I don't know, but like I've always been like, because this is a popular opinion now, thankfully it's coming to the light, or it's came to the light, but like a lot of men channel their emotions through anger. They think that anger is the only emotion that they felt through all of that. And it's like, you went through 5 different emotions before you got to anger. You just chose anger because it's socially acceptable, which I understand. But yeah, I pray that y'all get safe spaces, but even your safe space may not be enough. So you're going to have to reparent yourself. When I say it may not be enough, I'm just saying somebody may not be able to hold all of that as one individual. So you're going to have to do a lot of reparenting to like come into self-acceptance. But yeah, I wish self-love for everybody. I wish everybody could get up every day and look in the mirror and just, you could tell yourself that you love yourself. I think I don't want to negate the fact that social anxiety is a very deep thing. But what I'm seeing is people saying they have social anxiety and doing nothing about it. They're just saying, I have social anxiety, period. I get nervous when I'm around people, period. I get scared to talk to people, period. I don't know how to talk to people, period. For one, Google is free. I don't mean any disrespect by that statement, but baby, Google is free. You can Google how to do anything. If you struggle to talk to people, maybe you better go Google some stuff. And I want y'all to know too, you can be as awkward, as weird, as dorky, as whatever as you want to be. Your people will accept you. I don't understand that. Like, a lot of people do suck. I'm not negating that fact. A lot of people do suck, but there are just as many as amazing people out there who will love and embrace you. Cutting everybody off and not dealing with anybody for the fact that maybe one person did you wrong, that don't sound absurd to y'all? Not just a little bit. Like, I get it. Some interactions will damn near have you on your knees, but it's like, baby, stand up. We gonna fight this one. You can be on your knees for a season, but then get up. Like, let's do something. Let's figure out how do we How do we make this work? How do we deal with it? You are just so much more capable than you think. I feel like I'm gonna do another video. I feel like we're gonna have to do social anxiety. We're gonna have to do self love. We're gonna have to have somebody on here who didn't love themselves and now they love themselves. I just want real life examples of like our neighbors. And what I mean by that, I think a lot of people want to sit and watch celebrities talk about their struggles, and I don't really know what the obsession is with that, but I think you need to look at the person across from you, because a lot of people, you feel like you're alone. You feel like you're the only person dealing with this, and it's like there are millions of people who feel this way, and there are just as many people who have learned how to fight against whatever that thing is. Like, I have my own struggles and such, but I ain't taking no shit laying down. I can tell you that right now. That's not happening. So yeah, I pray everyone loves to learn themselves. But I sincerely thank all my new subscribers. Now I do see y'all not subscribing, following the podcast on Apple and Spotify. I think across all platforms, well, no, Spotify and Apple and YouTube. What are we at right now? I think maybe we might be at. Wait, Spotify alone is 200. Apple, I haven't looked because Apple. Oh, I'm sorry. Y'all be pissing me off. Something about the structure. It don't always be right, but whatever. I'm gonna have to go look and see how many subscribers. We're like 50 away from 200 on YouTube. I'm very thankful. I'm very thankful to all the people who have tuned in and come back every week to listen to our episodes. I want to shout out Michelle. I hope that's how you say your name. I see you commenting on like everything, and I'm very, very thankful for that. I'm thankful for people who show constant support. I am loving it. Like I said, I may even come back home and pick this back up and add some other stuff, because sometimes, you feel like maybe it didn't give what it needed to. Yeah, I thank y'all for tuning in. I pray that everybody has a very great and amazing, joy-filled week. Please don't cancel me for this, y'all. Because when I tell you, that girl deleted her whole comment. She said, "Oh no, I don't know if I'm gonna upload this. Y'all might cancel me." I'm not even gonna say follow me on anything no more, because like, if y'all gonna follow, it ain't nothing. But yeah, remember, I am humble enough to know I require growth in all areas, but I'm confident enough in myself to know I will get there. So yeah, I'll see y'all next time.